Today, we're going to be looking at the top 17 lightsaber myths in Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 2 that have just been added in with the most recent patch. So let's jump right into the first myth. Breaking a wall is faster with a lightsaber than a pickaxe. Now, this one is actually quite useful to know because when you're trying to get into someone's box, should you be using your pickaxe or should you be using your lightsaber? When I went into my testing, it turns out that using a pickaxe against a wooden wall takes 2 hits, but a lightsaber only takes 1. Same thing with a brick wall and a metal wall. The lightsaber always takes 1 less hit than the pickaxe actually does. So yes, this myth is true. Breaking a wall is faster with a lightsaber than a pickaxe. For our second myth, you can cut open a vault with a lightsaber. Now, as we all know, in the prequel movies for Star Wars, we actually saw Qui-Gon Jinn cut open a vault blast door with a lightsaber. So can you do that in Fortnite? I went on down to the vault to try and test this out, but unfortunately, this does not work. This myth has been busted. You cannot get into the vault with a lightsaber. For our third myth, you can cut through a car. Okay, so since the vault didn't work, can we at least cut a car in half? That would be super sick. And unfortunately, again, you cannot cut the car in half. Now, you do a ton of damage to the car with the lightsaber, and you'll eventually make it explode. But it will not cut it in half with one swing, which is a little bit disappointing. But let's see if there's some more myths on this list that'll make up for that little bit of a letdown. For our next myth, we have you can slice through a metal wall. So the car didn't work and the vault didn't work. Let's just try it out with a basic metal wall. And yes, you can slice through one of these metal walls. While it isn't a clean slice down the middle, it is still a very quick kill with the lightsaber, and you're actually able to go right through this thing, as we actually saw earlier with the pickaxe versus lightsaber comparison. Now, in our fifth myth, we have you can't use a lightsaber underwater. This one seems weird because at first glance, you would think, why wouldn't you be able to? But then you think about it and you're like, hold up, that is electricity going underwater while you're swimming. Not a very good combination. So can you actually use your lightsaber underwater? And it turns out Fortnite has thought about this safety concern because this myth is true. You cannot use a lightsaber underwater, which is absolutely insane. Honestly, I'm really proud of Epic for coding this one into the game because I did not think that this would actually happen. For our sixth myth, we have ObiWans lightsaber attacks faster than the other lightsabers. Now, ObiWans lightsaber is obviously the new one out of the other 3, including Luke's, Kylo Ren's, and what is the third? Oh yeah, Mace Windu's. The other 3 are supposed to attack the same rate, but do they actually? I tested this out in game, and yes, it does look like they do all attack the same rate, so this myth is false. All of the lightsabers will be attacking the same speed as Obi-Wan's lightsaber, and it does not have any sort of advantage, even though Obi-Wan's show is going to be coming out very, very soon. For our 7th myth, we have you can light a wooden wall on fire with a lightsaber. Think about it. It just makes sense. A lightsaber is a literal beam of glowing energy. Of course, this thing's gonna set stuff on fire. When I actually tested this out in game, though, the lightsabers one-shot wooden walls. So you can't really set them on fire. So I went to the next best thing and I tested it out on a tree. And unfortunately, it does not set the tree on fire. All it does is chops it down very, very quickly, may I add. But unfortunately, it does not set the trees or wooden walls on fire. For our 8th myth, we have Star Wars versus Marvel. Which one is better? Now, this one is less of a myth and more of just testing this out to see which of these industries is actually better. I went into game and I grabbed myself a lightsaber and I went on down to the new NPC Doctor Strange over at the Daily Bugle, which is so many crossovers in one sentence. I can't believe I just said that. And unfortunately, Doctor Strange uses a shotgun. I never thought I would say that sentence in my life. So yeah, we obliterated Doctor Strange with the lightsaber, and it looks like in Fortnite, Star Wars is currently greater than Marvel. For our 9th myth, we have you can reflect bullets with a lightsaber. Now, we all know that you can block bullets with the lightsaber, but can you actually reflect them back at your enemies? And unfortunately, no matter how many times I tried this with the AI in so many different situations, it would never work. And you can only block bullets with the lightsaber. This myth has been busted, and you cannot reflect bullets with a lightsaber. For our 10th myth, we have you can deal damage through shields. At first glance, this myth sounds absolutely crazy. Why would the lightsabers be able to do damage through shields? Well, if you think about it in the Star Wars universe, when you've got something like a droika, I think that's what they're called. They're the little spinning robots that have the shields around them. I don't know. I've always called them droikas. Let me know what you guys have called them in the comments section. But basically, in the shows and the movies, you can actually cut through these guys' force fields with a lightsaber just by getting close enough to them, walking into the force field, and stabbing them with it. So you're literally dealing damage through a shield. I tried this out on a normal IO defender, and unfortunately, it does not deal damage through the shield. But I didn't stop there. I went to Gunner, the boss NPC over at Covert Canyon, who has an entirely separate shield hit point bar, but still, it wouldn't go through the shields. So unfortunately, no, this does not follow the canon of the Star Wars universe. You cannot deal damage through shields with a lightsaber. For our 11th myth, we've got something interesting, and this is you can block an Anvil rocket launcher missile with a lightsaber. Now, as we all know, you can block normal shots with a lightsaber, but can you block an entire RPG? I went into game and tested this one out by shooting one of these directly at my feet and then switching over to my lightsaber. And unfortunately, no, this does not work. And the Anvil rocket launcher will still blow you up, even if you're trying to block it with the lightsaber. For our 12th myth, we have can you cut a zip line with a lightsaber? This one sounds absolutely ridiculous, and it sounds like it would never work. And unfortunately, yeah, it didn't work. You cannot cut zip lines with lightsabers. This one I was hoping might work, but honestly, nope. I did not expect it to work. You cannot cut the zip lines with the lightsaber. Those things are going to be standing up, even if they're cut directly down the middle with a literal beam of energy. For our 13th myth, we have lightsabers can block fall damage. Now, somebody needed to try this because somebody's got to do it for us to know whether it works or not, but no one wants to be the one to actually jump off the side of a ramp and see if the lightsaber will block the fall damage. So I took the fall for the team, pun intended, and yeah, it does not block fall damage. So don't go around doing this in your games thinking that you're going to have a free sky-based win and then you fall down to your death. It does not work. For our 14th myth, we have you can destroy a full box with one lightsaber combo. Now, what I mean by that is basically you get a bunch of different animations when you use your lightsaber, but your big down swipe is your final one in one combo. So can you destroy an entire box? I started off with a metal box, and unfortunately on this one, it still leaves two of the back walls intact, even after doing an entire combo. I'm honestly impressed, though, that you destroyed that much of the box solely with one lightsaber combo. It makes this item really fun to use, especially in late games where people are boxed up. Now, if you see somebody in a brick box, then you know you can W key them, because in my second test, it turns out that you can instantly break a brick box with one combo of your lightsaber, and same thing goes for wooden boxes. So make sure that if you see people boxed up in your games, you go ahead, take out that lightsaber, and start beating them up. For our 15th myth, we have Sith lightsabers make a different sound than Jedi lightsabers. Now, this one is interesting because there's actually only one Sith lightsaber in the game, and that is Kylo Ren's lightsaber, who technically turned back into a Jedi. I guess spoiler warning if you haven't watched the 9th episode yet. But if you haven't watched the 9th episode, what are you doing? Why have you not watched Star Wars yet? And why are you watching this video? But basically, Sith lightsabers do actually make a different sound than Jedi's. This is a true myth, and it has been confirmed. They make a little bit of like a roaring noise compared to the Jedi's ones. It sounds pretty cool, and honestly, I really like the attention to detail by Epic Games. For our 16th myth, we have lightsabers can hit more than what's just in front of you. Now, basically, if you're looking dead straight forward with your lightsaber, can you hit any areas that aren't directly in your field of vision? And it turns out that yes, you can. If you're standing on a sloped surface like this rooftop is, you can actually manage to damage the roof and even break it just by swinging forwards. It's a little bit of a useful tip to know when you're fighting against a lightsaber or when you're using a lightsaber to make sure that you don't accidentally fall to your death or break the surface that you're currently standing on. For our 17th and final myth, I had to throw in this one. You can harvest clomberries with a lightsaber. Now, we all know that Colombo is going to be returning very, very soon to Fortnite. He's been added back into the files with a new dance emote even, and we are going to be seeing him coming back very, very soon. So, can you actually harvest his clomberries that are placed around the map with a lightsaber? And it turns out, yes, you can. I was not expecting this one. I did not think that you would actually be able to harvest these clomberries, but it turns out that you actually can, and I'm super happy with this one because that ends off our 17 lightsaber myths in Fortnite Chapter 3 Season 2. If you guys actually did enjoy this video, then make sure to leave a like on it. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as that would help me out a ton. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section down below about what you want to see in our next Mythbusters video. But for now, that is Dummy Yoshi signing off. Like I said, everyone have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.